Come on, man. Is that super? So without further ado, let's go ahead and start cutting some piping and tacking some stuff up. All right, I took the exhaust manifold off. I cleaned up the area on the exhaust manifold I'm gonna weld, and got all my piping cut. So now we're to the point where we probably need to prep this stuff, meaning that we need to clean it. And also what I'm gonna have to do is some of these pipes, see how that goes in there and it's got a little bit of space. So I ended up having to go back to Harbor Freight, bought another one of these large tailpipe expanders. So what I'm gonna end up doing is I'm gonna open up a couple of these ends so that they can slip inside of here easier and have a little bit tighter fit. And the same thing with the V-bands, because they also fit a little loose in the V-band as well. Check that out. These new ones is trash, man. My old one don't have that on it, and my old one definitely didn't do that. The only reason I got a new one was because the rubber band broke. So I'm about to slap these rubber bands and put them on my old one. All right, all the components that I got right here have been cleaned, acetone, Scotch-Brite, and now we're ready to put together the passenger side. So all this stuff is gonna go from the harmonic balancer to the exhaust manifold. So let's go ahead and get this stuff fitted up and tack it into place. Juggling with my hands, I was able to get the two pieces of pipe tacked on both sides of the V-band. Now, what I did is I set everything up. I made my 3 lines. And now I'm ready to tack the 2.5 stainless to the OEM exhaust manifold. And just like before, I'm trying to tack this, and of course it's not working. This tack right here is already broken, and that's because I need to preheat this. So let me go ahead and get my MAP gas out, preheat this, and see if I can get some good tacks in place. All right, so we got everything tacked up. I'm still continuing to slow down the heat process with torching this with MAP gas. And I figured, you know what, I might as well just go ahead and finish welding it up. So I'm gonna test fit it first, and then if everything worked good, we'll go ahead and weld it up. Wow, got that side all tacked up. Let me get some light in there real quick. There we go. So I got that side tacked up. I got my V-band down low enough that I can get to it. And so now I'm debating on if I want to go ahead and weld this up, or if I want to continue tacking stuff and making my way over to the merge collector. But let me give you a gist of kind of my thought process on doing this. All right, so I took that J-bend, the part of the J-bend that kind of did like a U shape, and I basically cut it in half. So it gave me 2 90s, and then it gave me a little bit of straight here. I shoved it into here, and basically what I'm doing is I took another piece of 2.5. This is just some black intercooler piping that we use on the Supra, and all I'm doing is eyeballing it. So what I'm doing is marking it up, kind of getting the eyeball of where I want it to go, and then all I do is take that and transfer it to that bottom piece and basically drawing a straight line. And then after I draw that straight line, I'll take that piece out and I'll cut it with my 4.5 inch disc grinder with the flat blade on it. I took my pipe expander and went a little bit too ham on this thing. So it's supposed to sit inside of the groove. There's a lip inside of there. So the pipe sits in there like I've been doing. The pipe sits in there, but of course there's like a gap. So I used the pipe expander to open it up. Well, like I said, I went a little too ham, so I ended up opening this thing all the way up and on this particular joint, I'm gonna have to make a weld on the outside of the flange. No big deal, but I just got to do it. Took my measurement tape and I measured from this point to that point. I wanted to come up a little shy, so that from this point to this point is 8 inches. So I'm gonna cut a piece that's 7 inches, and I think that we can get the last little bit using a couple pie cuts, maybe just one pie. All right, so that 6-inch piece or 7-inch piece, whatever it was, that worked out. And then what I did was with that piece set up in that V-band, I took a measurement on this side and 180 degrees. I want to say that this side ended up being 1 inch, the other side ended up being 1.5 inches. So all I did was transfer those measurements to a piece that kind of had a slight bend to it and mocked it up and just test fit it. It looked like it's gonna work good enough. So I'm gonna go ahead and tack this piece, these two pieces together after cleaning them up. And then after that, we get to tack all this up to the merge collector. All right, fam, we got the driver's side connected to the merge collector, and I also took a piece of flat steel and did a little weld there, drilled a hole and bolted it. The reason I did that is so that I can take this whole setup off and I can transfer it to this. This is my first 6-liter LQ9 motor that didn't work out too well. What I'm gonna end up doing is I'm gonna put my turbo setup on this. That way I can try to weld as much stuff as I can, and most importantly, so that I can figure out how to run the passenger side piping to the merge collector from the manifold. So let's go ahead and get the setup off, and let's go ahead and weld it. All right, Speed Ass Garage. I think that I want to start my welding these two together. So now we're to a point where we're gonna need to what they call back purge. Basically, back purge is you seal off 2 ends, and then you fill the section that you want to weld with argon. With that happening, basically eliminates sugaring, but the sugaring is not what you want. You want it the inside to look just like the outside. So a lot of people use this here, basically aluminum foil. And what I'm gonna attempt to do is like I said, I'm trying to weld this section. So I probably have the argon inner here. Probably try to see if I can stuff enough of this foil in there to maybe like stop it right here. And what I'm trying to achieve is the argon going through this area and then coming out the top of here, and it's gonna end up shielding that. So let's go ahead and get everything situated. And then also I'm using some high temp tape. And what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna put the high temp tape up here and punch a couple of holes in it. I forgot I need to put the V-band clamp on there first, because like I said, when you weld a V-band, if you do it without having the other side of the V-band and everything tightened up, it will warp and distort. But now, dang, it's aluminum. Hold on, let's do this. Oh, daggone. There go my little holes. So let's go ahead and get our purge set up. So the purge ain't nothing but a little piece of rubber hose. I got aluminum foil wrapped around it, and then on the other end, it goes to a regulator. Rule of thumb is you want to set your regulator up to 10 CFH, and basically let it purge for maybe like a good 5 minutes, 10 minutes or so, depending on what you're welding. So we're gonna go ahead and set this purge up, and then we're gonna preheat the exhaust manifold, and we're gonna start welding it. And check out these new gloves that Adam sent me. The Tillman 1488L True Fits. They're meant for TIG welding, and they are super thin and comfortable. So we're gonna try them out also. Might help if I hook my ground up. Alrighty guys, we got the driver's side manifold knocked out. Don't look too terrible. The V-band got a tremendous amount of color. I'm pretty satisfied with it. So now I'm gonna let that piece cool off, and we still got 2 other pieces that we need to go ahead and weld up. V-bands welded up. This is the crossover pipe that goes up underneath the harmonic balancer. Everything looks pretty good. When I welded it, I tried not to put too much heat in it. And as you can tell, there isn't really too much sugaring. There's like a little dot, a little bubble right there. I don't know if you can tell. But besides that, we didn't get any penetration. And I think we're good. We got the driver's side to the merge collector. We got that welded up. So now I'm going to bolt all this stuff up to the spare motor so that we can work on the passenger side. Wow, look at that. Everything is coming together. This little bracket, once again, this is temporary. This is only to hold everything into place so that I can fabricate the passenger side. So the only thing that's missing right now is the C6 manifold. I need to take it off the 240 and bolt it up to this side, and then we can figure out what all we need to join this up with the manifold. All right, fam, just like always, I appreciate every last one of you guys that watch my videos. If you're new to the channel, welcome. But come along for the ride, because it's gonna be an enjoyable ride. There's gonna be a lot of fabrication, there's gonna be a lot of wiring, and at the end of all this, we will go to the drag strip. We might even get some dyno footage, but in the meantime, hit the like button, hit the subscribe button, and I'll check you guys on the next episode, because we're gonna continue to do some welding.